Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm LJ if you're new to my channel. Today is a foundation boot camp. So today we're going to be learning how to match your foundation, how to get that perfect match for your skin. I get a lot of DMs about like makeup application and how to match your foundation, and I wanted to make this video, make it very detailed, step to step for those of you guys who are looking to start doing makeup but you just don't know where to start. You don't even know how to find the right foundation. So I'll be sharing with you guys a few tips on how to find that perfect foundation match. So if you're interested in seeing this video, keep on watching. But if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and join the LJ family. Also hit the bell so you're always notified of a new upload. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Okay, LJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'. Welcome to a YouTube.
Alright, so I'm hoping this video is not too long, but I do want to give you guys as much information as I can and try to kind of think back when I was first a beginner in makeup and how I used to try to find the right foundation match. I'm going to try to give you guys a step-to-step guide. So the first thing when you are trying to select the foundation, you have to select the type of foundation you want first. You have to decide okay, what kind of foundation do I need? So that all depends on your type of skin and the type of look you're going for. There's so many different things that vary when it comes to people's skin. So it can be like the texture of your skin, it can be like what kind of skin type you are, like whether you're oily, whether you're dry, whether you are acne prone, whether you have sensitive skin. So many different things, okay? And that's where complexion gets very complex. One thing you want to do is figure out your skin type. So do you have dry skin? Do you have oily skin, or do you have combination skin? If you can already determine that, I feel like that's very easy to determine. So if you have oily skin, of course when you wake up in the morning or when you sleep, your skin gets oily throughout the day. You don't really need to moisturize your skin all the time. You don't feel the need to moisturize your skin because your skin kind of has all those oils. If you have combination skin is just for people who have oils on different parts of your skin. So most of the time it's usually the T-zone area, the forehead, and the dry areas on their skin is usually the bottom part of their face. So around this area right here and around their mouth area. So that's how you know you have combination skin, when you have both dry and oily areas on your skin. So once you determine your skin type, the next thing is to determine the type of foundation that goes really well with your skin type. Typically people with oily skin tend to use foundations that are matte, or you can use a foundation that is oil-free and hydrating. Now if you have really oily skin, I would say go in with the oil-free hydrating foundation. The reason why I say that is because if you're using a hydrating foundation, it's going to help balance the oils on your skin so that it doesn't get too oily. You know how sometimes some oily skin people have loads of oils on their skin? It's probably because their skin is a little bit dehydrated. So that's why I would say go in with an oil-free hydrating foundation. Of course, you don't want to use an oily foundation. A few foundations that I really love would be the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I really like that foundation, especially for oily skin, because it lasts a really long time and it kind of prevents your skin from building excess oils. That is a really good foundation. Another one is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I love that foundation because it's an oil-free hydrating foundation, just perfect for people with oily skin. And another one is the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Foundation. I have heard a little bit that foundation is good, but it's not the best for people with oily skin, but I do know it's a really good foundation. I use it myself and I can attest and say that foundation is bomb. Now, so for people with dry skin, I think it's a little bit easier to find your foundation. You just want to go with a foundation that is not matte, especially if you have extremely dry skin. You shouldn't be messing with anything that is mattifying because you ain't got no oils. Your skin needs those oils. So you definitely want to go in with a foundation that is either luminous or radiant or hydrating. Those three foundations are perfect for people with dry skin, or even a dewy foundation or whatever, depending on the type of makeup look you're going for. And for people with dry skin, foundations that I would recommend would be the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. That foundation is amazing. I feel like a lot of people really love that foundation. I myself use it and I love it. And another Another one would be the Rare Beauty Luminous foundation. I really love that foundation because it gives off a lot of, I don't know if it's oils, but it kind of gives that luminous dewy finish, which looks really healthy on your skin, especially if you have dry skin. I feel like that foundation will be amazing. Now, if you have combination skin, you really can use any other type of foundation, just depending on how your skin is feeling. So if you wake up and your skin is feeling a little bit dry, you know, you want to use something maybe a little bit luminous, a little bit radiant, a little bit hydrating. But if your skin is feeling a little bit more on the oily side, then you definitely want to use a foundation that is oil free, maybe a foundation that is matte, whatever you're feeling that day, however your skin is doing. Another thing would be like acne and breakouts, textured skin. I would definitely say go in with a foundation that is full coverage, because if that's your main concern, you want to go with a foundation that has enough coverage to cover all that. Now, if you don't really have much acne, you don't have textured skin, you're not concerned about coverage and covering a lot on your skin, then I would say go in with a medium coverage foundation or a light coverage foundation, depending on the look you're going for. It's all about preference and what you like. All right, so that's step one. I hope that was not too long, but I just really wanted to get in detail. So we're gonna move on to step two. So step two is matching your foundation on your skin before purchasing it. That's like one of the most important things. You don't want to go to the store, pick out a foundation and be like, yeah, this looks like it could work, and then go back home and then you realize that it doesn't actually work. So one thing that I usually do is I like going to Sephora. Okay, so I take my time, I go there, I figure out, okay, say you want to purchase a Fenty Beauty foundation and you figure out what kind of foundation you want. Go to Sephora and tell them, hey, can I get matched? And they're gonna try to help you. Now, don't 100% rely on these associates. I say this from experience. Don't 100% rely on them because they don't know everything. They're not professional makeup artists. They're just associates who work for Sephora, so they go by their opinion and what they think. What I would recommend is go to Sephora and ask them to swatch out at least 4 shades that they think, you know, could match your skin. And then, you know, they'll swatch it on your skin and, you know, you get to see and play around with it. You can also decide like, okay, let me try this shade. Maybe this shade might work for your skin. So I would select the 4 shades that you think match you the best. You don't want to only select one shade because sometimes it might look good on your skin, but when you go outside, then it changes and it doesn't look right. And just ask for samples. They'll give you like a little small thing where they put the sample on there so you can go home and try it. So what I would do is I would take about 4 to 5 samples of the ones that you think match you the best and then wear it out to people that you actually know, because if you're going to somebody who doesn't really know like what your skin tone looks like, they can think like a foundation matches you, but it really doesn't. But you want to go in front of people that you know, people who see you every day and people who know what your skin tone looks like, and mark down the type of shade it is and the undertone, because that is very important. And also form your own judgment because you're the one who's wearing the makeup and not other people, so you want to be able to be confident in the makeup that you're wearing. Step 3 is actually matching the foundation to your skin. Okay, so I like swatching my foundation out around this area right here because this area is usually the darkest part of my face, and I want to see what me swatching out on the darkest part of my face looks like compared to the lighter area of my face, which is this like T-zone area in my forehead, down the bridge of my nose. In today's video and today's demonstration, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty foundations because I have 3 different shades, 3 different undertones in this foundation, and I want you guys to see how I usually swatch them out on my face to determine which shade matches me perfectly. Alright, so I just applied primer, so I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these out. But I just wanted to mention that I personally like to match my foundation on my face, okay? I don't match it to my neck just because my neck is different from my face. And I don't like matching it to my chest because my face and my chest are different colors. I don't know if you guys can see, but my face is significantly darker than my chest. And I don't want to go in with a foundation that is too light for my skin, because when I do that, sometimes I tend to like touch my face, maybe if I'm laying down like this and I'm touching my face, and then when I let go, I can see like a patch on my skin because of the foundation, because the foundation isn't matching my skin on my face. And I notice when I actually match it to my skin, when I lay down, I touch my face or hug somebody, I don't see any patches on my skin because that shade is like my skin color. I feel like like your makeup should look in unison with your chest at the end of your makeup routine and not at the beginning. In the beginning, if you're matching it to your chest, you're going in with like concealer, you're going in with setting powder, you're going in with things that are lighter, and so you're just making your skin a little bit lighter and lighter. So I feel like at the end, you should focus on trying to get it to match your chest rather than in the beginning, because I feel like it looks a little bit more natural and a little bit more realistic, and that's just a personal preference. So another step in finding the right foundation match is finding your undertone. Okay, that's so important. And I didn't know this until like I started wearing makeup for like years. And I was like, yo, like I need to find my undertone and stick to that, because I realized when I stick to a certain undertone, my makeup looks better because it actually matches my skin really well. So undertones is so complicated. It's very complex. I have a very detailed video on how to find the right undertone. Once you find your undertone, it's so important for you to stick to that certain undertone. Now, sometimes with foundation brands, they mix up the undertones. So many different foundations have descriptions of undertones that are not really like the same. But once you find your undertone, it'd be easier for you to find your shade, because most undertones are usually the same. I'm gonna start off by swatching the first shade that I have by the Fenty Beauty, which is the shade 420. So this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Hydrating Foundation. I have dry skin, so I'm gonna use a hydrating foundation, and I just like to put like one swipe. Kind of faded a little bit, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more. So as you guys can see, this looks very light. It is not my skin tone, so if I was in Sephora, I'd be like, this ain't gonna work. I know I'm a warm undertone, so I feel like this undertone can work. It's just the skin color of the foundation that would be very off with my skin. So the next shade is 440, which is described as for deep skin with warm undertones. All right, so this is the shade 440. This is usually the shade that I wear with the Fenty Beauty foundation. As you guys can see, it looks kind of like light right now, but if I blend it out, it blends out really nicely. And this foundation shade is actually a perfect match for my skin right now. So I would say that this one kind of looks better on my skin because it's a little bit deeper than this first shade. So if you're in the store and you're looking at the different shades, you want to make sure that the shade is not way too light for you. You want to like go from light to dark and determine which one looks best for your skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the last shade, which is 445. So this is the shade 445. Immediately I can honestly see this and be like, nah, this ain't gonna work. This is described as for deep skin with warm olive undertones. I know I'm not an olive undertone. I'm definitely a yellow, but I can also wear golden, which I feel like they're almost the same. They kind of give off like the same undertone. But here I can definitely see this is off. If I apply this all over my face, I'm gonna look green. There is a shade between these two right here, which is 430. I don't have that shade because I just knew I wasn't that shade. In this situation, if I was in Sephora, I would definitely try to get the shade in between these two shades as well, to put it like right there and figure out what is my shade, because there's not a shade in between these two. It goes from 440 to 445, but there's a shade in between these two, so it goes from 420 to 430 to 440. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the shade 440 all over my skin, and I typically go in with 1.5 pumps with this foundation, just because it's a medium coverage foundation and I don't want to put too much. So as you guys can see, this matches my skin color. So as I'm blending it out, I can kind of see it cover enough, but it doesn't really change the color of my skin too much. And one thing I also forgot to mention in this video is once you match and you place the foundation on your skin, you definitely want the foundation to sit on your skin for like 5 minutes before you determine the shade, because sometimes they can oxidize. So for instance, with this foundation, it definitely oxidizes. So over time, it's gonna warm up to my skin. So I'm definitely gonna see a change after with the foundation. But once I usually apply like concealer, setting powder, bronzer, and contour, it brings back the color of my skin and everything just blends really beautifully and it looks one color. So I'm gonna go ahead and complete the rest of my face, and then I'm gonna be back with the final look to show you guys how the foundation looks like with like a full face of makeup. Okay guys, so that is it for this video. This is my full face. I hope this video was helpful for those of you guys who are looking to learn how to match your foundation. I hope I give you guys enough details. I try to give you guys as much information as possible and useful information that I thought was useful before I started learning. So yeah, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to thumbs it up for me. Also, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and join the LJ family. Hit the bell so you're always notified when you upload. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'. You better subscribe, got it on lock, yeah. Got it on lock, yeah. We need more likes, more views, yeah. You can leave a comment too. Welcome to our YouTube. Welcome to our YouTube.